Hey there, my name is Simone and I'm the Zen Mommy. I help people with spiritual awakening and their ascension, as well as the healing of the mind, body, and soul. Today, I would like to thank everyone for joining me today. I appreciate my subscribers for sticking with me all this time. And if you're new to my channel today, please subscribe. And if you press the bell button, it'll notify you of my next video. Today, I have a subject that I was thinking about. What would be my number one advice to give someone who is going through an awakening. My number one advice is simple. Forget everything you think you know. Forget everything you were ever taught, everything you ever learned. And I said this before on my channel. At the beginning of my awakening, I heard the voice of my spirit guide. And my spirit guide said, abandon all your beliefs. Now, when I do talk about that, I notice a few people, they've made comments because my belief system was in Christianity. And, people who are who are a Christian who heard that, they automatically took offense. If somebody told you, what to, to stop believing it. And so a lot of people took that as offense, but no one really understood what that actually meant. It wasn't just, abandon this belief system, okay? It was all beliefs. And the reason for that is you want to come into this awakening as a blank slate. Because if you're not blank, if you're housed with all these belief systems, you'll never be able to receive what it is that your soul is to receive during this awakening and ascension. It's about, learning this whole new you. And in that process, you learn how to veer away from the lessons that we learn, or the, the school lessons that we learn when we taught our parents, teachers, pastors, ministers, friends, families. You want to learn how to lean in on your intuition and to trust yourself. Now, when I say spirit guide, or let's just say spirit guide, God, higher self, there's all these names that we have. These are just labels, okay? Labels is the ego seeking to define things. See, here in this reality, our ego constantly wants to define things. The ego finds comfort in definitions. But from my experience, that's my awakening so far. And I have to say, with ayahuasca, actually helped me really see that my spirit guide, my higher self, God, whoever, is all one. And it is all you. So when I'm saying let go of the past, let go of the past or the belief systems, what I'm saying is to listen to yourself, listen to your intuition, call it your spirit guide, call it your higher self, because your higher self is you. Okay, it's the true version of you, the highest version of you. It is the fully awakened, enlightened version of you. See, our soul is connected. We're all connected. And we're a part of all things. But we have a higher perspective of ourselves that has full knowledge of this whole reality, who we are. See, you go on this journey to seek yourself. You don't, see, we came here with amnesia, and we go through this life with questions, not really knowing why we're here, wondering about all these mysteries. Well, all of it is about bringing yourself back to who you are. So you awaken. That means you're waking out of what everyone in this society tells you, what the collective is thinking, what the collective is believing. You no longer just take that at face value. If somebody says, well, nope, this heaven is the only place to go. And if you don't worship this, such, and that God, then you're not going to heaven. And that's just it. And if you don't go to heaven, you burn in a hellfire, right? So you're saying, to heck with that belief system, okay? Or to hell with those belief systems. You have to actually train yourself to believe in the unknown. Because like I said, the ego seeks to define, it seeks to quantify. So the ego has created all of these belief systems to kind of, and through it, a lot of us, we get lost in this maze of life. But when you start going through your awakening, you start to see that a lot of things I've been told wasn't really true. A lot of things I was told was something they, like, say, whatever you taught with your parents might have been taught by their parents and their ministers and their teachers. And then their ministers, teachers, and parents were taught by somebody else. And it goes all the way down the line to we really don't know who started these beliefs in the first place. So awakening is about wiping that whole slate clean and just letting go, even though it's just like, I'm just saying it's going to be easy for you. Okay. I came in here as a Christian, and it was a struggle for me to let go. My intuition was telling me, even when I was in church, that something wasn't right. But it's just something you're going to go through. And I'm just saying, like, what I'm saying is, for this to go easier for you, you have to surrender. I heard this phrase, how you can't beat a river into submission. That when you surrender, you gain control. When you just allow the flow to happen, that's when you have the most control. So that's what this awakening is about. You want to allow the flow to happen. If you hear something, so what happens is you'll start to hear things, you start to see things, you start to get messages, right? So when these messages come to you, a lot of times we're faced with resistance to these messages because of our old belief systems. So so you have to look at it with more of an open mind, that there are unlimited possibilities. And maybe the way you were taught is not the only way. Maybe it's not the best way for you. And so it's a journey of resonance. It's a journey of trusting yourself. Because if somebody can tell you that according to this book or to this Bible, that this is the only way, and you just believe in it, if somebody can tell you that, then how do you know that it's right for you? It's true for you. It's something that you have to learn to seek. And so this whole awakening journey is about seeking self. It's about loving self. It's about understanding yourself. It's about knowing that we are more powerful than we think we are, that we actually have control within our whole being to change the whole world. And it's not about changing anything else. It's an inner job. It's inner work. And as you work on yourself, things will begin to evolve all around you. I think about how my awakening happened about 2 years ago. And I was in a pretty much a dark place. I was a Christian. I was in a church that was a cult. I was in a toxic relationship. I was at low vibrations. And I just saw my way just going. I just saw no happy ending for my life. My toxic church put me out for a reason over finances. And I literally thought, oh, I'm going to go to hell. I can't believe it. How am I not going to heaven because I'm not there? And so, like, if I had stayed in that belief system, the truth is, you are what you believe. Because I wasn't there and we were taught that that was the only place to be saved, I was like, I'm going to hell. Guess what? My life became hell for 2 years, like hell. And I mean, it was completely toxic. I was in darkness. I was surrounded by people who were in darkness. And it just got to the point where I had my awakening and I raised myself out of that low level vibration. My whole reality has changed, like everything, like the way I talk, the way I dress, my energy around me. I have more of a youthful appearance now, and I'm happy. I'm very, very happy. And not only that has changed, everything has changed. I see good in everything. I see awakening in everything. I see spirituality in everything. I am not the same person I was 2 years ago. And I took this journey and I decided to follow this journey. And this journey is leading me to learn more about me and to trust myself and to love myself. Anyways, that is my advice for if you're going through a spiritual awakening. So remember, forget everything you think you knew. and learn how to trust yourself. Learn how to trust your intuition. Learn how to feel vibrations. If it's something that resonates with your soul, then don't resist it. Okay? If you surrender, you go with the flow, it gets easier. In the beginning, it's hard. In the beginning, it's hard to let go. It's hard to surrender. But once you begin to trust yourself, then the spirit is with you and it will guide you and it'll become more clear as day. It'll be like, do this, make that decision. And you can have your whole life guided by the spirit. But first, you got to learn how to trust the spirit, your spirit. Okay, thank you for watching. Peace and love. Namaste.